Hello my dear friends, welcome to Theory of Computation lecture series. In this video, we are going to see context-free grammar, that is CFG, and its capabilities. We'll be seeing the definition of context-free grammar, what is context-free grammar, how do we write context-free grammar, and in the next we will see capabilities of context-free grammar. Let us start understanding context-free grammar by looking at its definition. It is a formal grammar which is used to generate all possible strings in a given formal language. A CFG can be defined by a four-tuple system as the grammar G is equal to V, T, S and P. What is this VTSP? We are going to see next. V is nothing but it is a set of variables or non-terminals. So grammar consists of many things which includes a set of variables. So there are certain variables using which we will generate the string. T is nothing but it is the set of terminals. So this set of terminals are the terminals which are formed from the alphabet set. Now this alphabet set we define for the language initially. S is the start symbol. So for our grammar we have already seen that we start deriving a string from the start symbol because this is the starting point from where we start our derivation. And where P is nothing but it is the set of production rule where the left hand side of the production rule P does not have any right context or the left context. That means while deriving a string, we don't see the left and right part of the string which is already derived. What we do is we take the non-terminal and use the production that we can use for generating the string. It is of the form A tends to alpha where A belongs to V. V is nothing but a set of variable or non-terminal. So here we can see that the left hand side is a single non-terminal or a single variable, but alpha is V union T whole star. That is, it is the clean closure of V union T. So alpha can have any number of variables and any number of terminals. So as said, here my A is of length 1. That means it is a single variable. That is, the non-terminal is free from contact on the left and right side while deriving the string. In CFG, the start symbol is used to derive the string. One can derive a string by repeatedly replacing a non-terminal by the right hand side of the production until all non-terminal have been replaced by the terminal symbol. This derivation we have already seen in the previous video, my dear friends, where we try to derive a string from the given grammar, in which what we used to do is we take a production, we select a non-terminal from the production and try to explore it by replacing it with the right side of the production which contains the non-terminal on the left hand side, and we continue this process for deriving a string. Let us repeat this with an example. Let us say that there is this grammar given to us where there are three productions, S tends to ASA or S tends to BSB or S tends to C. Here this S is my starting symbol, S tends to ASA is one of the production, S tends to BSB is another production, and S tends to small c is my third production. My set of variable or non-terminal contains only one letter, that is S, and my terminals here are A, B and C. Let us try generating the string ABCBA using this grammar. Now my dear friends, we can observe this from this grammar that the non-terminal is in the between. In this production it is between 2A, and in this production it is between 2B. So while generating this string, we can see that the first and last letter are A. Okay, so we have to use the production S tends to A as A, because whatever will be added in the place of this non-terminal S. So my first and last letter, the first production that I use will give me my first and last letter. So if I use this BSB, then my first and last letter will be B. But what I want is first and last letter should be A. Hence what I am doing is I am using this production S tends to A as A. Now I know that the second letter and the second last letter I need is B. So I replace this S by this production S tends to B as B. My first and last A will remain same, and this S will be replaced with B as B. So hence it is giving me this pattern. And now in the next step, I want this C to be there. So I will use this production S tends to C, and I will be able to generate the string ABCBA. I hope it is clear, my dear friends, because it is the use of this production, the order of the use of this production, that defines what string you are going to get. And depending on the string that you are trying to generate, you have to use these production rules one after another. Now let us see the capabilities of context-free grammar. The first capability says that CFG is useful to describe most of the programming language. By using CFG, we are able to describe most of the programming language. So whether you talk about C, C++, Java, .NET, Android, any programming language, there is a context-free grammar written for that language, using which we check the generation of any string. To give you a simple understanding, if we are checking whether my expression is correct or not in C language or C++, then we know that my expression ends with a semicolon. So I can write a grammar for that of the form A tends to alpha, where there is a semicolon at the end. The second capability says using the features of associatively and precedency, information suitable grammar for expression can be constructed. This statement says if we use the production of the grammar in a very constructive way, in a suitable manner, then we can have the associativity and precedency maintained with the operators. The third point says if a grammar is properly designed, then an efficient parser can be constructed automatically. Okay, if you write the grammar in a proper way, then there are certain tools like Lex and Yak, LEX and YACC. Using this, you can construct the parser. Now, my dear friends, parser is a tool which is used to verify whether the string generated is correct or not. And it is very useful thing while you are writing a compiler. Another capability says it is capable of describing nested structure. The context-free grammar is capable of describing a nested structure like a balanced parenthesis. That means you know for every opening balanced parenthesis you have a closing parenthesis. Then matching begin and end. For every begin you should have an end. Then if then else statement and so on. So the capabilities of context-free grammar are much more than what we have seen here, but these are the important capabilities that one should know. I hope this is very clear, my dear friends. In the next video, we are going to see some example of context-free grammar. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more videos on theory of computation lecture series.